Eddie, first of all, I know it's going to be a stretch of this question right now of the potential fight of, Inoue and Bam. I know that's a big stretch, but do you possibly think that could happen?
I mean, I'm going to say yes, because it's, of course, a dream fight, and it's a fight that's going to do huge numbers. But Inoue, I think if anything, he's going to move to featherweight. But Bam is 24, and sooner or later he's going to go to 122 pounds. But he's going to go to 118 first, so I don't know. I mean, it might be one for the future.
Eddie, you mentioned as many times as you possibly can that Bam is only 24.
Yeah.
How excited are you?
Amazing.
How excited are you to have someone for the long time you're going to be able to promote?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same with Boots, and guys like that as well. But Boots is older, but still so fresh and young. So, I think we got 3 or 4 pound for pound great fighters on the roster. But at 24 years of age, I just feel that he's incredible, and so fresh, so many more years to go.
Is he your best young fighter? Is he your best 24-year-old you ever had?
Yeah, I mean, he's the youngest ever 2-division world champion. Well, it must be the youngest ever Ring Magazine champion. The youngest ever on the pound for pound list? I don't know, maybe.
It's easy to make the fight between Jesse Rodriguez and the winner of Yoka.
I hope so. It depends if they want to make the fights, if they want to see the best be the best. Sometimes people want to do that. Some people want to avoid fights, but we know there's a big market for the smaller weight classes in Japan, but there's also a big market here in Phoenix, and like I said, maybe even in Saudi Arabia.
You're not surprised with Phoenix, right?
I mean, look, we did 9,000 tonight or close to. Next time, who says we can't do 10, 11? We may do the rematch. We'll have to see. But
there's a Klaus, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Eddie, just switching the pitch real quick, going over what's been going on lately. Have you talked to Bill or anything over what's been going on with him and Zab Judah and Ryan's situation?
No, I mean, I saw some stuff tonight. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
From Ryan's side or
from Ryan? I mean,
with Clarissa Shields with this.
What the fuck's he doing? Honestly, something bad is going to happen if someone don't get hold of Ryan Garcia. I keep saying it, and you may play these clips back when something bad happens. Like, it's just a car crash.
He fired. I guess I don't know if that's the quote that he fired.
Lupe,
Lupe, but Valencia then. Moving on, the situation what happened with Caleb Plant, and then he said since he's going to be suspended for a year, he's going to be, and I quote, petty about this whole situation. What do you think is going to happen?
I just say he just needs help. He needs help real bad. I hope he can get it.
That rematch, I know the rematch, that's something that they both want. Haney and Bryan, let's try to fast forward a little bit hypothetically to a year later. Could that be the first match for both of them coming back after a year?
Who knows?
What can you tell us about this, the fight here that's going on in Saudi Arabia?
Nothing really. I mean, there's really just exploratory conversations. His Excellency has an incredible vision for boxing. He's got a lot of ideas. The stuff that was reported, half was correct, half of it was incorrect. We're bound by confidentiality on a lot of these things. But there's a lot of exciting things being discussed. And if there's a way to bring boxing together, you've seen him do that quite effectively so far. I think it's something that a lot of people would be interested in.
The team concept with 5 versus 5 was pretty
massive.
Cool.
The numbers were huge, and the narrative was huge. I mean, don't forget, you've got Matchroom in Queensbury. Obviously, about the right, but in the UK, it's like we're like, I don't know, New York and Boston, or I don't know, whatever you want to, So, and it's like, it was pretty fierce. So it was a huge media story, and although we didn't do very well in the tournament, the show did very, very well on the numbers, and I think it's a concept that can work.
Eddie, when you brought the the Chavez Jr. and Danny Jacobs fight here, kind of by not choice, you kind of had to. Could you envision what we saw tonight?
No, I mean, just the best atmosphere. Knowledgeable fight fans. I mean, even when we started the prelim fights, it was really busy. And I think I don't think we've got credit either for providing free air conditioning as well, like I said to fans tonight. I think it was a really nice touch from Matchroom.
We'll pick in the back after.
Yeah. But I think when there were so many people in here earlier, I was like, they're watching the boxing and they're getting a nice cool arena, So I think that there's not a fight that you could bring here that wouldn't do well, as long as it's a good fight and as long as it's a good card. They understand it, they get it, and we will always be in Phoenix at least 2 times a year, hopefully 3 times a year. And like when you look at Bam, you'd think that Bam back in San Antonio would make sense, but it's difficult to take him away from Phoenix now as well.
I was going to ask you, he's a star now. He can draw anywhere. The rematch, we'd love to have him back in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Is that on the table?
Yeah, it just, can you do 10,000 plus in San Antonio?
You can do it in Arizona. You can do it in
Well, do you want to make sure, can you guarantee me to go?
No,
but that's-
I'll guarantee.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah, right. Yeah,
He'll put the money up for
No,
you.
but
no
that
problem.
is honestly, that's the reality of it. Like I know I can do 10,000 here, probably 12,000 for the rematch. Can you do that in San Antonio? And I'd like to say yes, but it's a little bit unproven. So, but we have to go back there at some point with Bam because it just wouldn't be weird not to. So we'll have to see.
Eddie, I know part of the storyline of this fight was Triple Tito sparring Bam. I know Mr. Honda isn't big on his fighters facing each other, but I mean, it's an excellent
To be honest with you, if it wasn't down to Mr. Honda, I would have made that fight already. But I respect Mr. Honda. He cares for his fighters, and I care for him as well. But I want to see him make a lot of money, and sometimes the right dance partner helps you do that. And as big as the unification is, it's not probably as big as the Chocolatito fight, But that's just stuff we have to, speak to Bam and Robert about and map out his career. Your question about maximising his money, he's making a lot of money, but now he moves into that top 5 pound for pound list or where close to, he deserves more and more and more. And, I think he's an outstanding fighter.
Eddie, I don't know if you saw, but Virgil Ortiz was in he was sitting down watching the fight here live. Obviously, you have Boots Ennis. That was a big fight that they wanted at 147. Obviously, Virgil's not at 154. Could you has there been any talks about when you talk to Jerron Ennis maybe in the future?
No, Jerron would love that fight. I mean, I want to see Jerron. Obviously, he fights in 2 weeks. I want to see him unify the division, try and clean up at 147, then move to 54. And if Terence Crawford gets through Madrimov, which I don't think he does, then Boots Ennis will clean out Terence Crawford.
Why do you think he won't get past Madrimov?
Because I think they're underestimating him. I think he's a very, very good fighter. He's extremely tough. He hits very, very hard. And it's all like, Canelo after this, after this, after. Like, don't get me wrong, Crawford's the favourite in the fight. But Madrimov is a very, very tough fighter. He's got great movement. He's a fit, strong guy in his prime. As I said, punches very hard, and that's not an easy fight.
So you're gonna rely on that as well. That if he does beat Madrimov, do you think he still goes up and try to face Canelo? Won't give him maybe a chance, Canelo versus Crawford, because I know he's very active and spoken about that fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's down to his excellency. I think the only person that can make that fight is his excellency, because of what Canelo wants for that fight. So you're gonna have to pay up for it, and the only way that's gonna pay the money that Sal wants for that fight. I've heard before in my life, with all due respect to him, I'm sure he's a good fighter. And the other one is Edgar Berlanga, who's a Puerto Rican knockout artist who fought on ESPN, fought on the Zone, everybody knows him. And it's a competitive fight. So I think he'll fight Berlanga next.
A fight in New York, right? Doesn't that fight make more
I think
sense?
Vegas, New York, wherever, But, if there's the Sphere fight, then maybe they want to do it in New York, I'm not sure.
Well, Canelo hasn't fought in New York at least recently. Is that you want to
Well,
put?
they're against Rocky Fielding.
Oh, you're right,
Yeah,
a few years back.
Yeah, 4 years. I like it, but Canelo is a bit of a creature of habit as well. He likes his Vegas fights, but also he likes fighting in Texas. But New York, it's like
I wanted to ask you, Raymond Ford.
Yes.
The ball fight was so good. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
the